Aella hummed softly, her fingers weaving a silver thread through a shimmering piece of sunstone. The sun, her namesake, streamed through the open workshop windows, casting a golden glow over her workbench. Her hands, accustomed to the delicate work of enchanting jewelry, moved with practiced grace. But today, something felt different. As she shaped the sunstone into a pendant, an unexpected jolt surged through her, a flicker of ancient memory, a whispering echo from her ancestors. The sunstone, a rare gemstone, shimmered with a strange light. It held the warmth of the sun, pulsating with a barely perceptible energy. It was the legacy of her family, a gift passed down through generations, rumored to hold the power of the sun itself. She hadn't given much thought to the stories before, considering them charming folk tales. But now, with the rush of inexplicable sensations, she felt the truth in the whispers of the stone. As the afternoon sun began to dip, a shadow fell across her workshop. A tall, imposing stranger stood at the entrance, his features shadowed by the slanting light. His gaze, piercing yet kind, landed on her with an intensity that sent a tremor through her. "Aella," he said, his voice smooth as silk, "I've come for the sunstone." The man introduced himself as Elian, his name as melodic as his voice. He explained that he was a seeker, searching for a rare and powerful relic that was tied to her lineage. His words held a magnetic allure, and his deep understanding of her family history, of a hidden power coursing through their blood, sparked a curiosity within her. She had always felt a pull towards the sunstone, a sense of purpose that transcended her everyday life. Elian's arrival felt like a missing piece in a puzzle she hadn't even known she was putting together. Hesitation battled with her growing interest. The sunstone was her legacy, a precious inheritance entrusted to her care. Yet, Elian's words resonated with a profound truth. He spoke of the sunstone's purpose, of an ancient pact between her ancestors and the sun, a pact now on the verge of being forgotten. He spoke of a forgotten world, hidden in plain sight, where shadows danced with the light and the power of the sun held the world's balance. She saw in his eyes the same passion, the same thirst for truth that pulsed within her. He invited her on a journey, a search for the heart of the sunstone, and into the depths of her hidden history. Elian led Aella deep into the heart of the sun-drenched valley, through a dense, sun-dappled forest that seemed to hold ancient secrets. Finally, they arrived at a hidden entrance, a stone archway etched with faded glyphs. This was the entrance to the forgotten Temple of Aethel, a sacred place dedicated to the sun. As they stepped inside, a sense of overwhelming awe washed over them. The temple was filled with relics and forgotten symbols, evidence of a glorious past that lay hidden from the modern world. But the past was not forgotten. Ancient guardians, formed of living shadows, appeared from the darkness. Their whispers echoed through the hallways, their presence chilling and palpable. Elian's eyes, once a vibrant green, now shone with an otherworldly light, the shadows seemingly dancing in his presence. His movements, quick and graceful, seemed to be part of the dance of light and darkness. He moved with confidence, navigating the temple's intricate paths, his knowledge of this hidden world seemingly ingrained in him. His presence was calming, reassuring her that they were not alone in this ancient and dangerous place. They found the sunstone resting upon an altar within the heart of the temple, nestled within a network of glowing glyphs. As Aella approached, her heart thrummed with a primal recognition. It called out to her, a deep and resonating echo within her soul. A powerful energy surged around her, its warmth tingling against her skin. As she touched the stone, Memories flooded back. Elian revealed a truth that sent a chill down her spine. He revealed the purpose of the Sunstone, not just a symbol of power, but the heart of an ancient pact, a delicate balance between light and darkness, held together by the energy of the sun. A pact that had been threatened by shadows, stretching from the deepest corners of the world. The world teetered on the brink of darkness, and her family had been charged with maintaining the balance. She was the keeper of the sun, its chosen guardian. She was destined to fight. Standing in the heart of the temple, Aella knew her purpose. She must awaken the Sunstone's power and fulfill her family's legacy. But first, she had to prove her worth. A series of trials, remnants of the ancient pact, lay before her. A swirling vortex of light and shadow tested her courage. Ancient puzzles, filled with arcane knowledge and secrets, challenged her mind. Elian stood beside her, not as a mentor, but a partner in this dangerous quest. He possessed a knowledge of the shadow, a connection to the darkness that she couldn't fathom. Yet his touch calmed her anxieties. They fought side by side, his guidance and strength illuminating the path before them. Each trial deepened their bond, forged in the crucible of light and darkness. They learned to trust each other implicitly, their combined knowledge and skills navigating the temple's trials. They had grown closer with every passing moment, their hearts beating in rhythm to the Sunstone's pulse. A feeling, a bond that ran deeper than friendship, blossomed between them. After enduring trials both mental and physical, Aella finally stood before the heart of the Sunstone. Yet, her victory was overshadowed by a disturbing truth revealed by Elian. A powerful entity, the Weaver of Shadows, had been manipulating events from the shadows. They were not simply a keeper of the balance, but caught in a cosmic tug-of-war. The shadows stretched their tendrils further, weaving a web of darkness over the world. The ancient pact had been weakened, and the world teetered on the edge of an eclipse, a chilling foreshadowing of what was to come. She realized her duty was no mere guardianship, but a perilous struggle for the very heart of the sun, for its light to keep the shadows at bay. The Sunstone pulsated, urging her to unleash its power. But with this newfound awareness, she felt an immense pressure, a weight that settled upon her shoulders. This was not a path she could choose freely. It was her destiny, the legacy of her lineage, and she was burdened by a power that threatened to consume her. Aella looked to Elian, her eyes filled with uncertainty and fear. The revelation had shattered the simple joy she felt when touching the stone, her initial purpose. Her connection to him had become a lifeline, a support that she found herself relying on in these increasingly uncertain times. She could choose to use the Sunstone, upholding her family's legacy, a path laden with danger. She could become the champion of the sun, fighting against the darkness, the Weaver of Shadows. But with this path, she also risked becoming a prisoner of the Sunstone's power, caught in an unending war against the shadows, against the very entity that Elian warned of. She could choose another path, the path of freedom, the path of her own choosing. But she would risk abandoning her legacy, losing her family's connection to the sun, its warmth, its power. Aella felt torn between two paths, each filled with promise and perils. The future felt uncertain and chaotic. Elian's hand gripped hers, his eyes mirroring the internal storm she faced. "Aella," he said, his voice gentle, a reassuring strength radiating from him. "Whatever you choose, I stand with you." As the darkness crept over the world, the ancient Temple of Aethel filled with the scent of fear and uncertainty. Aella knew she could not wait. The balance was tipping. The shadows were gathering. She chose her path. She held the Sunstone, felt its pulsing energy coursing through her veins. As she focused, its power surged, filling the temple with a brilliance that overwhelmed the encroaching darkness. Elian's power rose to meet hers. He embraced his lineage, acknowledging the shadows that danced within him, but turning them toward the light, guiding them in his presence, pushing back the darkness. They stood together, an incandescent force in the center of a maelstrom of shadow and light, facing the weaver of shadows. The final battle began. Aella, channeling the power of the sun, focused it upon her blade. She became an embodiment of sunlight, wielding an ethereal energy. They fought alongside each other, battling against the darkness that seeped into every corner of the temple. The earth shook. The temple, once a monument to light, threatened to crumble under the immense weight of power clashing within. The air crackled, charged with magic, and Aella realized that the fight wasn't just about their survival. It was a battle for the very nature of existence, for the future of light and shadow. They had to find a balance, a new understanding. Aella focused her will, redirecting the power of the Sunstone, shifting its purpose. It wasn't just a weapon, it was a bridge, a path between light and darkness, a symbol of balance. She released its energy in a cascade of blinding light. Then, with a whispered plea, she asked for harmony, for an equilibrium. Elian fought beside her, his shadow power no longer a source of conflict but a counterpoint, a source of balance. With their combined power, they shattered the weaver of shadows, releasing it from its obsession with darkness. The shadows withdrew, retreated, leaving the world bathed in a newly radiant light. The world stood in silence as the light returned. The battle finally won. But in this quiet after the storm, a sense of profound change swept over them. The Sunstone's glow remained, but now it hummed with a different melody, a harmony that pulsed in both Aella and Elian. They stood beside the shattered remains of the weaver, a shared understanding washing over them. It was not just the sun that shone, nor was it only the shadows that remained. Their powers had intertwined, a new harmony forged in the heart of their shared battle. "We've become something more," Elian said, his voice softer than before. "The Guardians together." "The Keepers of the Balance," Aella agreed, her hand resting on his arm, her voice laced with a quiet strength she discovered through her journey. Aella and Elian left the Temple of Aethel behind them, the echoes of the Sunstone still ringing in their ears. The path ahead was long, and the world was still in a fragile balance. But they had learned that even in the darkest night, a Sunstone's light could pave the way for a new dawn.